In my opinion, this question is easier than it looks. It looks very complicated and scary, but if you drill into what they're really asking, they're kind of saying if the whole thing is 5 over 12, meaning that kv squared is 4 over 12, or 1/3, what is the value of v? So I guess you could say the free info is that kv squared is 1/3, and they're asking us to find the value of v. But keep in mind, we know which side of 0 v came from, because it's a speed, so it's definitely not negative. If this wasn't a word problem, if it was just algebra, then we would have to keep in mind that even if we can find the value of v squared, we still might not know the value of v because we don't know which side of 0 it came from. But in this case, finding the value of v squared would be sufficient. And in that context, I think statement 1 is clearly sufficient without using pen and paper because it gives us the value of k. So I know the value of k. I know that kv squared is 1/3. Can I find the value of v squared and therefore the value of v? Yes, of course I can. So statement 1 is sufficient on its own, and we should eliminate the answer choices that claim that it's not. So B, C, and E are all gone, and we're down to answer choices A or D. Let's evaluate statement 2 right after the intro. So I do think statement 2 is a bit harder to evaluate, but it effectively gives us a certain value for kv squared for a given value of v. So if v is so-and-so, kv squared is this number. But if I know that, then I could work out from that equation what the value of k is, and that just gets us back to statement 1. So it looks like statement 2 implies statement 1, meaning we can infer what statement 1 is saying from statement 2. And I wonder if that also goes in the other direction. If we know statement 1, as well as all of the free info, would we be able to infer statement 2? Yeah, it would, because we know from statement 1 the value of k, and using that we could infer statement 2. So these statements are inferentially equivalent, which means that we could eliminate A, B, and C without even reading the question. And I go into the explanation of why that is in the second section of my book, which you could read for free on quantreasoning.com. Now in this case, since each statement is essentially giving us the same information, I'm going to go with answer choice D. Each statement is sufficient on its own, and we can move on to the next one. If you found this video useful, go to quantreasoning.com for a lot more where that came from. You should also click that like button and let me know in the comments below what you'd like me to make future videos about. And of course, if you haven't yet subscribed, go ahead and do that and click that bell below so you get notified about future videos. See you next time.